All right, let's get right into it. If you're a multiplex owner, you know that your building can look great from the outside. But what we're talking about today is all the stuff happening just beneath the surface. Those little nagging issues that can seriously eat into your profits. So this is all about the simple, repeatable hacks that are going to protect your bottom line.
And this really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? I'm talking about a clogged air filter, a tiny little crack in the caulk around a window, or a door that slams just a bit too hard. None of these sound like a 5-alarm fire, but trust me, they're the warning signs. And if you ignore them, they are absolutely guaranteed to blow up into huge, expensive repairs later. Because those little problems, they have a nasty habit of adding up, quietly siphoning thousands of dollars right out of your bank account before you even know what hit you. So, how do we get out in front of this? Well, it's not about some complicated, expensive strategy. It's about smart, simple habits.
Okay, let's start with the easiest stuff, the quick wins. These are the things you can do inside your individual units that take almost no effort but give you a huge return.
First up, let's think about your heating and cooling system. It's basically the lungs of your building, and if it's struggling to breathe, everybody feels it, especially your wallet.
I mean, the difference here is night and day. When a filter is all gunked up with dust and dirt, the whole system has to fight to pull air through. That means your energy bills shoot up and the air quality goes down. But a clean filter, that means lower bills, fresher air, and tenants who are actually happy. And the hack is so simple. Change those filters every 90 days. Period. And the payoff for that tiny bit of effort is immediate. A clean filter can cut your energy use by up to 15%. That's not a guess, that's a real number that you will see on your next utility bill, all for a fix that costs a few bucks and takes maybe 2 minutes.
Okay, next up is something that's super easy to ignore, but is your #1 defense against water damage. We're talking about caulk. Those simple seals around tubs, sinks, and windows, they are incredibly important.
Just look at this breakdown. Ignoring a little crack seal can easily lead to thousands of dollars in mold remediation and water damage repairs. The cost to prevent all that? A $10 tube of caulk and 10 minutes of your time. It's a no-brainer. And hey, while you're doing that annual check, listen for that other little problem, a slamming door. That's not just annoying. It's a sign the door closer needs a quick tweak. A few turns of a screw can save you from a busted frame or a broken latch. It's another one of those tiny fixes that makes a huge impact.
Okay, so we've covered the quick wins inside the units. Now let's zoom out and talk about protecting the building's core systems. You know, the big ticket items that cause the biggest headaches when they fail.
Be honest, most people only think about their water heater when it's already broken, which, of course, is always in the middle of a cold snap when you need it most. But we can totally prevent that disaster.
This timeline shows you exactly what's happening inside that tank when you ignore it. First, sediment starts to build up at the bottom. Then, the unit has to work harder and harder just to heat the water, which drives up your energy bills. And finally, the tank starts to corrode from the inside out, leading to a massive leak and a very expensive failure.
And the hack to prevent this is so simple. Just 1 hour of your time, once a year, to flush all that gunk out of the tank. That single hour can save you from a $5,000 replacement bill and keep your tenants from having to take cold showers.
Now for a topic that makes every property owner's skin crawl, pests. Let me tell you, the absolute worst time to start thinking about pest control is after a tenant calls you to say they've seen a mouse. By then, the damage is already done.
This is all about getting ahead of the problem. Forget those panicked, expensive calls to an emergency exterminator. Instead, you schedule regular, preventative visits. You seal up all the little entry points with some steel wool before the pests find them. It costs way less, and more importantly, it protects your building's reputation.
All right, let's talk about a couple of modern fail-safes. These are simple tech and safety checks that are designed to stop some of the most common and costly disasters in their tracks.
Electrical safety sounds complicated, but this hack is so easy it's almost funny. You know those outlets in your kitchens and bathrooms? The ones with the little test and reset buttons? Well, once a month, just go press test. You'll hear a little click as the power cuts off. Then you press reset. That's it. You're done. It takes 5 seconds to make sure those outlets are actually working to protect your tenants.
Okay, now for what I think is the single most powerful hack in this entire rundown. We're talking about your defense against the most destructive force there is in a building, water.
The numbers on this are just staggering. On the left, you've got a $30 smart leak sensor.
It's a tiny little gadget you stick behind a toilet or under a sink that sends an alert straight to your phone the second it detects moisture. On the right, you've got $30,000. That's the average cost to fix the damage from a leak that goes unnoticed over a single weekend. I mean, come on, it's not even a choice.
So we've gone through a bunch of different hacks, but if you look closely, they all point back to one central idea, a shift in how you think that really separates the most successful property owners from everyone else.
And this is it. It's the whole ball game. Proactive maintenance. It's about building a system of small, regular habits to prevent emergencies. You stop being a firefighter, constantly running around putting out fires, and you become more like an architect, building a system that just runs smoothly and predictably.
So here it is, all laid out. Your complete maintenance arsenal. Change your filters quarterly for lower bills. Recaulk seals annually to keep water out. Test GFCIs monthly for safety. Flush water heaters once a year to make them last. Adjust those door closers to stop damage. Schedule that pest control so you're never surprised. And for goodness sake, install those smart leak sensors. These aren't chores. They are the smartest, highest return investments you can possibly make in your property.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Take a look at your property, think about these hacks we've talked about, and just decide what's one small lurking problem you can solve today to prevent a massive headache tomorrow.